Nuclear weapons have been a threat to humankind for a long time now, and after the war between Ukraine and Russia, we have now understood the devastation it can cause if any nation decides to use them. Why would BRICS nations want to make a lethal nuclear aircraft carrier? Especially when Brazil and South Africa are signatories to the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons, NPT, and have voluntarily renounced their nuclear weapons programs. To answer this question, we have to first understand what is the need for this nuclear aircraft carrier, what damage it can cause, whether it is even necessary considering the global situation of today, and most important question, will it be a successful project? We will answer these questions in this video, but before that, make sure you have subscribed to our channel and have pressed the bell icon. Coming back to where we left off, first things first, to understand this whole topic, we have to know what BRICS actually is. It is an acronym that stands for the powerful grouping of the world's leading emerging market economies, namely Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Their aim is to promote peace, security, development, and cooperation. But if they promote peace, why would they want to make a nuclear aircraft carrier? Well, nuclear-powered aircraft can be considered strategic assets to the countries who own them. Not only it gives them an upper hand in wartime, but it also projects their dominance over the countries who do not possess them. Other than this, there is a long list of reasons why having them can be beneficial to the BRICS nations. 1. BRICS nations have diverse geopolitical interests and would naturally want to dominate the countries where they share their border. And what can be better than having access to an aircraft laced with nuclear weapons? 2. Considering the geography of these nations, they have coastlines that span major maritime domains and trade routes. And to protect this, they must have this aircraft or other weapons which can make them unbeatable. 3. BRICS have nations like China and Russia, who have the desire to be the center of the world and become a world leader. And this cannot happen if they don't have the most destructive weapons in their pocket. 4. The last reason behind it can be technological development. Collaborating on the construction and operation of a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier could provide BRICS nations with opportunities for technological advancement. It could foster cooperation in areas such as nuclear propulsion systems, shipbuilding, aviation, and other advanced defense technologies. Technically, the aircraft itself can't cause any life-threatening damage, but the way it would be used is concerning. In the event of a conflict or war where a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier is involved, there can be various potential damages and consequences, which makes it a potential threat. For example, a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier can carry a significant number of aircraft and various types of munitions, including precision-guided missiles and bombs. In a conflict scenario, these aircraft can be used to attack and destroy enemy targets, including military installations, naval vessels, infrastructure, and other strategic assets. This event will not only take thousands, if not millions of lives, but it will also cause irreparable damage to the economy of the nation being attacked and can leave its land infertile for the next thousands of years. This aircraft can conduct airstrikes, targeting infrastructure such as airfields, communication networks, ports, and military bases. This can lead to significant damage to enemy infrastructure and disrupt their ability to wage war effectively. It will also be life-changing for the people of that country, which can cause social imbalance. Other than this, the usage of a nuclear weapon-laced aircraft can escalate the already worse situation to an unimaginable level. It can lead the world towards another world war, which can lead to a mass level of destruction. And this can lead to only two possibilities. 1, where no one is left alive on this planet, let it be humans, plants, or animals. And 2, where the people who survived are damaged beyond repair, as exposure to heavy radiation can cause damage to the DNA, which will make the upcoming generation disabled. After understanding the spine-chilling consequences of the mishandling of this aircraft, many of you must have questioned if the world even needs this kind of weapon at this moment or not. Answering this can be difficult, as it consists of a series of complex factors that are both sensitive and important to understand the ideology of each nation. Considering the war situation that the world is facing right now, it is important that every nation has its own nuclear weapons that it can use to defend itself, its territory, and ensure the security of its beliefs and people. But at the same time, if every nation gets its hands on this type of aircraft which can, alone, destroy the enemy's economy, then it might become impossible to control the wars. Because with such technology comes pride and ego. Each country's decision to pursue nuclear weapons is influenced by a range of political, strategic, and historical factors, and we can't deny that the chances of every nation's desire to dominate the world will increase exponentially. To understand this situation better, you should imagine a war where both nations are powerful, supported by other nations, and on top of that, hold the power to wipe out each other's whole population with just one click. How terrible the situation would be. There would be no guarantee of life and no sense of peace and security at all. It would be living in the constant fear of being attacked by the enemy. And a war like this can lead us to nuclear winter, which, in a way, is the end of the Earth. For those who aren't familiar with the concept of nuclear winter, it's a hypothetical scenario where the detonation of a large number of nuclear weapons results in the injection of significant amounts of smoke, soot, and dust into the Earth's atmosphere, which can block sunlight and lead to a substantial drop in global temperatures, potentially causing long-lasting adverse effects on climate patterns and ecosystems. And as terrifying as it is, it's just a hypothetical situation for now, which can become a reality if world peace is not maintained properly. Coming to the last question asked at the beginning of this video, will BRICS nations be able to complete such aircraft successfully? The answer is simple: yes. Having nations like Russia and China, who are known for their impressive technology, it's highly possible that BRICS nations make such aircraft to establish their dominance over the world and rise as the center of world trade, which would ultimately lead to their development. But would this whole process be easy? No. If these nations collectively decide to build a nuclear aircraft carrier, there could be several implications and considerations. First, convincing nations like Brazil and South Africa would be quite challenging, as these nations have signed NPT, and becoming a part of a project where a nuclear aircraft carrier is being made will cause a lot of backlash and criticism, tarnishing the image of these nations. And in a hypothetical situation, even if they agree, the construction and deployment of a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier would raise concerns about nuclear proliferation. It could trigger discussions about non-proliferation efforts, adherence to international agreements, and the overall impact on global security and disarmament efforts. Other than that, they would need to collaborate on this project and pool their resources, technology, manpower, and most importantly, the fund to support this project. An aircraft so modern will require a huge amount of funds, as constructing a nuclear aircraft carrier is a complex and expensive endeavor. The BRICS nations would need to allocate significant financial resources and prioritize their defense budgets accordingly. This could potentially divert funds from other sectors such as infrastructure, healthcare, education, or poverty alleviation. Another unfavorable factor would be the international response that this project will get. Having two nations who have signed NPT, it'll be a matter of global security, considering this project is likely to elicit various responses from other nations, depending on their geopolitical interests and perceptions of the BRICS nations' intentions. While some might support this decision of making a nuclear aircraft carrier, others might think of it as a potential challenge to their own influence and security interests. In conclusion, if any such aircraft is made by BRICS nations, it will be highly criticized and would shift a significant amount of world power in their hands, if not whole. It would demonstrate their increasing military capabilities, influence, and aspirations for global power status, and this could challenge the existing global power structure and potentially lead to a reevaluation of geopolitical relationships. Another change would be that the existing global powers, such as the United States, Russia, and European countries, may reassess their own defense strategies and military deployments in response to this development, which could lead to a reevaluation of security relationships and potential adjustments in defense policies. Even though we can evaluate all the aspects, it is important to note that the actual impact would depend on various political, economic, and strategic factors, as well as the responses and reactions of other nations. And that was it for today's video. Let us know your thoughts on this video in the comment section below.